Hey guys, Scott Dispel here, dispelmusic.com. Welcome to our humble studio in Cleveland, Ohio. Today we are going to update you on the upcoming Inferno album, so stick around. Hey guys, Scott Dispel here, dispelmusic.com. Welcome to our studio here on the shores of Lake Erie. And even though it's almost spring, it's ridiculously cold and we just had a hailstorm. So yeah, typical Cleveland weather. Personally, I think it's the beginning of the apocalypse, but that's just how my mind works. So let's get into it. Speaking of the apocalypse, today we're going to share what's going on with the Inferno album. And if you like anything Gothic or medieval or fantasy or gaming, maybe you play Dungeons and Dragons or Magic the Gathering, or if you like medieval culture or Gothic cathedrals and architecture and awesome ruined castles, you're in the right spot. Those are the things we love, and that's what we write our music about. So today, I'm happy to announce that our singer Raven C will be here next week, and we will get to work on the Inferno album. So I thought it would be pretty cool to share with you our insane schedule. She is driving up from Florida, and she's going to be here for 3 to 4 days. She's hoping to knock it out in 3. I'm really thinking it's going to take 4, because now I'm going to share our insane schedule with you. While she's here, we've basically got a year's worth of work to catch up on. So we have 3 interviews planned. We have a photo shoot for the new album. We're going to record 2 low-key guerrilla-style music videos. We're going to rehearse, and then we're going to record a full live set for World Goth Day on May 22nd. And then we're going to record the Inferno album and Past the Gates EP. So completely crazy schedule. I'm really going to have to sit down and basically work it hour by hour. Here's what we have to do. So I'm putting the rest of my life aside as if this wasn't my full life already, but I cannot focus on anything but that Inferno album with the time I've got her here. So going to be really grateful for that, and I promise you we are going to work ridiculously hard to make this something really special. So you probably wouldn't be here watching this if you didn't believe in us. So thank you for your support and yeah, continuing to believe in us. Every time you guys leave comments on our YouTube videos or on our Facebook or Instagram posts, you know, it really inspires us to keep moving forward, that, hey, you know, people are into what we're doing, because sometimes it's pretty discouraging, you know. I often put in, you know, 20 to 40 hours a week working on music, and, you know, it's one fan at a time. It's, you know, one new YouTube subscriber. It's one new Facebook subscriber, you know, every day. So, yeah, it's baby steps. There's not like a big solution. So I guess steady wins the race, and we're committed, so we're doing it. So, you know, for each and every one of you, it means a lot to us that you're a part of our tribe. So today I wanted to talk about the 8th song on the Lore album. We're almost done with the Lore album, and then I will start with the songs on the Inferno album, which will be really interesting because I'd like to go on the background story, because it was inspired by Dante's Inferno, which is a literary masterpiece. So there's a plethora of like background information and where we pulled the lyrics from and what the different circles or / layers of hell each mean, the torments, full of metaphors and analogies, and it's just brilliant. So there was plenty of material to work with. And then, like I said, we sprinkled in some characters and some of the development from Dungeons and Dragons to add character, to add some personalities that I think a lot of the gamers like we are can relate to it a little more and give it a little more flavor and a little bit of color, as if there wasn't enough of that already in the Inferno, in the 9 circles of hell. But I thought it would be really cool to draw on some different elements and add a little bit of the fantasy gaming to it. So that's what we did. we're really excited to share it with you. So let's tie up some loose ends with lore. We still have a few of these CDs left, and you can find them on our website. I'll put the link below, and all the proceeds for this will go towards releasing the Inferno album. We are leaning towards doing a Kickstarter. We have never done a Kickstarter before. I really don't know anything about it. I want to thank Andy from We Gamers, who shared a lot of helpful information about Kickstarters, because he speaks with a lot of game developers, and a lot of game developers use Kickstarter. So we're just trying to figure out the numbers, because with Kickstarter, if you do not reach your certain goal, you don't get any of the money, and then you got to cancel the orders, and it's a pretty precarious situation to be in, because we really would love to get colored vinyl for the Inferno album, and it would be a limited print run. It would be the first press, and I know as a vinyl collector myself, colored vinyl is just the bomb, especially if it's first press, if it's an early press and it's limited edition. I think that's really special, and I know the vinyl market is it's growing even to this day, and I love the sound of vinyl because it's analog. It just sounds better than digital. So we really have our hearts set on that, and I got to thank you for giving us feedback. A lot of our fans said they would support it, but we're going to have to reach out to more people. We're going to have to add some type of advertising budget to meet our goals. So there's a lot of uncertainty there. It's a big risk. I believe in big risk, big reward. But if it fails, it reflects poorly on the band. And yeah, it's just a lot to think about. So we're really trying to crunch the numbers. One thing we were not able to budget, unfortunately, is we were going to do an animated video and release it right prior to the album coming out, and the budget's not there. The plague completely decimated what we were hoping to do with some live shows and selling merch and stuff, and that income never materialized, and we were going to put that towards an animated video. So I'm very disappointed to say we're not going to be able to do an animated video at this point in our career, and that's just reality. So it is what it is. So let's wrap up the lore album. So we are on song number 8, Atonement, Adiago in B flat. So we're talking about the hero's journey, and the lore album was a conceptual album about the hero's journey, the different stages. And when you get to the atonement stage, basically you have passed your tests. You have survived the belly of the beast. You fought your demons. You've been to the abyss, and now you're coming out of the abyss. And obviously, going through that is soul transforming, life transforming. It's basically like you're shedding your old skin and becoming a better version of yourself, a better person. But the stages aren't over yet, because you have to reflect. It's time to reflect on what you've been through, what got you there, how you got there, and why you got there. And that's where the atonement stage is all about. So what I did is I wrote a sacred choral piece, heavily influenced by Josquin, who was pretty much the best sacred choral composer of the Middle Ages. And I really wanted to try and get that sacred soul depth feeling with the song, inspirational. So I'm going to play a little cut of it for you here. That's the atonement stage. You're reflecting. you're reflecting on not only what you just went through, but what it's going to mean to be a better version of yourself. You're letting go of the past. You've made mistakes. You need to atone with them. And that's even true now in life. There's I'm sure there's some things you need to atone for. And if you don't, then it's really just karma that's just gooped up in like a resin, like a gathering karma that you have to pay for at some point. So sometimes it's worth going back and atoning for things. However, whatever might be required, it's pretty much worth it to step up, be a person of character, atone for those things. Because if you don't do it now, you're going to have to do it eventually, because that's how karma works. And I'm a full believer in karma. So that's the atonement stage, and very important stage. But that's basically a step forward, a step up. You're headed in the right direction. And following that is finally the last stage, which I'll go over in the next video, which is the transformation, where you've completed your transformation and you've completed the hero's journey. So that's certainly something to work for. And in other videos, I've spoken how this lore album was not only a story of the hero's journey, but it was really the story of us writing the album and coming up with the concept of a band that was into fantasy and medieval culture and the old virtues of courage and strength and honor and truth, things that have been lost in today's world of greed and corruption, and people just being complete psychopaths or sociopaths, and we're surrounded by them, we're ruled by them, and maybe we can start an underground movement of people who have integrity of character and truth. And I think if you focus on that path and all these other distractions around you, don't get caught up in that. Focused on doing what's right, what's in your heart, clean all that dirty water and that muck out of your heart, and become a better person and transform. So right now we are just atoned. So let's atone, and next we'll transform, and then we will go the other journey, and then we will go straight into the Inferno. So there we are. So I always like to share something a little live, something more interactive at the end of the video. So I've been programming the electronic portion of the drums that I'm going to be playing live in association with the analog kit. And in the last video, I kind of showed you my setup and the drum triggers and how that works. And if you'd like to watch that, go through our videos tab, or I think it's up here, the videos tab, and it'll show you the different videos in the last video I did, where I showed you my analog setup and then the lighting. So now I'm going to show you a little more in depth about the electronic drums, how they work, how I can program them. I thought it would be really cool to share. And then we will catch you on the next video when we finally do the last song, Transformation. And it's perfect timing because we will be transforming into a new album, and that will be Inferno. So from the hero's journey, we've prepared ourselves. This new person, full of integrity, full of truth, full of strength and courage, and now we're going to make the ultimate journey into the Inferno, the 9 circles of hell. So we've prepared, and now we're ready to make the journey. So let's check out the drums. Alright guys, so I thought it would be really cool to show you a little bit of the workings of the electronic drum set. This will be attached to the acoustic with drum triggers on the kick drum and the snare drum to trigger these sounds here. So I kind of walked through that a little bit, but this could also be a standalone. Say if you had limited space and you had to fly somewhere overnight at the last minute, and you only had, you could only afford Spirit Airlines and a $50 ticket, this would be the way to go. It also has the foot pedals. So we got the kick, and we got the hi-hat pedal here. So we got our snare, crash, crash. I've got these toms programmed as timpanis. And then up here, we can do pitch, we can do different sounds, and I'll give you a little sample of that, and then we'll catch you in the next video. So, for example, we can do different sounds. Well, first we can do, some different sounds. So we can choose different instruments. So right now this is a 8 snare. We can do. We can do different pitch. So if we wanted to pitch this up, or we can pitch down. Almost sounds like a kick drum.